What it do, surprise Shawty crew? And hey, my Daisy loves. This is gonna be really quick. I got a song today, but I want to share this with you guys. I was a little worried about something at work, and I had asked my aunt for advice, and she was, well, I asked my whole family, but my aunt's advice is what stuck with me, and I was like pondering on it. But she had told me, like, she just reminds herself of who she is prior to, you know, briefing or presenting at work. And so I had pulled back up at the house and I was reflecting on it, and the Holy Spirit just whispered to me, like, who comes in the room with you? Huh? Right? Like, who comes in the room with you? And I know that it's God's Holy Spirit, right? I know that he goes before me. I know that he's all around me. He comes in after me. And so if you can identify who comes in the room with you, and it doesn't just have to be at work, it doesn't just have to be in instances where you may be nervous about doing something, whether it's something you're trying to get used to, something you've never done before. Just in general, when you walk into Publix, when you walk into church, right? When people come to your channel, right, and they come in the room, what is in the room with you? Who is in the room with you? And so if you can answer that and you know it's God's presence, it's his Holy Spirit, there are things that just come with that. Love and joy should exude from you, should be felt. Peace, kindness, it should be welcoming, right? It should be lit, like light, okay? And I'm realizing that. Literally your attitude, just like who you are. And it's so funny because I used to be so worried about certain things, and I remember God telling me, like, nobody can steal your essence, because your essence is the Holy Spirit and they cannot take that. So what do you bring in the room with you? And I think we should always be mindful of that. Again, no matter where it is, no matter who else is in the room, no matter what you have to do, if you have to speak, if you're quiet, because you don't have to speak, right? Like, you can just give somebody a smile. Like, have y'all ever went somewhere and it was like, oh, you're miserable, right? Because on the flip side, what is coming in if it's not the Holy Spirit, right? You're rude. You're not welcoming. You get what I'm saying? You got a stank attitude. I don't ever want to be that person, okay? And just be mindful of that. And people are attracted to that. So when you're like that naturally, people are attracted to that. I learned something this week, and I'm not going to share that right now, but I learned something this week, and I just had to stop and thank God that that is not something that I've had to study or learn. It's something that naturally comes to me, but it naturally comes to me because he comes in the room with me. He's with me. And so his Holy Spirit encourages me to be that way with people already, right? So just keep that in mind and build your confidence around that. And people will notice that. They will gravitate to that. People will try to be more like that. Because think about how you feel when people make you feel that way. When people are really welcoming with you. When people are really happy and just nice and kind and generous. Like, what comes in the room with you? Like, I know that sounds so simple. I've never really stopped to think about it until this week, but just think about that, okay? And like, when people interact with you, what are you giving them in exchange, in return? And his favor for sure walk up in the room with your girl. Like, it does. It does. So you can expect that when you walk in with him. Like, have y'all ever been with somebody who was like a big deal in any way? Like, say you go somewhere and you're with the person there that's like the honorary speaker, or you're with the person there that's I'm thinking about my dad, like in different instances where he was being recognized or something, and so you're being recognized, but I'm the child of the person that's being recognized. So think about how people treat you, where you get to sit, your view. Are you good? Do you need anything? And people are taking care of you because you came in with that person. That's what it's like. The favor is on you. Like, oh, that's God's daughter. Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, let me try to be extra accommodating to her. But then there's also a level of they expect you to behave and be a certain way because they know whose daughter you are. Do y'all get what I'm saying? That's a great illustration. Shout out to you, Big Boss. But do y'all feel me? So know that favor comes too.